Hello all, let's start part 2 of the section 3.4 section. Still we are in 3.4 of course, correct? We are in 3.4 still. Part 2 of the video, we are talking about reflections in the X and Y axes. First, again, I'll talk on a general form, and after that I'll do a graph for you to show it how graph can be reflected about the x-axis or y-axis. Okay, see, if I have my function, a function y equal f of x, if we replace y with negative y, let's see what's happening. I'll replace y with negative y, then this function becomes negative y equals f of x, and if you solve it for y, you multiply both sides by -1, or you divide both sides by -1, you will end up with y equals negative f of x. Correct? This function, when you replace y with negative y, your graph of y equal f of x actually reflects in the x-axis. Correct? Reflects in the x-axis. And the same way, if I have y equals f of x and I replace x with negative x, then this equation becomes y equal f of negative x, and in this case your graph reflects in the y axis. Now I'll do two examples to show how the reflection works. Correct? Example number 1. In this example, we want to reflect our graph about the x-axis. Reflect the graph of the function in the x-axis, or even they don't tell you, they give you a function like this. Let's say maybe y equal negative square root of x. Even they don't give you this information, reflect the graph of the function in the x-axis, or they just tell you graph this function. As soon as you see this negative outside, you have to know that your graph will reflect in the x-axis. To do this, again, use your parent function, which is y equal square root of x. First, graph y equal square root of x. You need a table. You know already the shape. You know the domain, correct? The domain is from 0 to infinity, correct? We discussed these functions with their domains, all of them. You shouldn't have a problem now. Why the domain is important? It's from 0 to infinity, because you don't want to put negative values in your x. You shouldn't choose negative values for your x, correct? All positive. I will choose 0. I'll choose 1. I don't want to use 2. I can use 2, but I don't know what is the square root of 2. It gets difficult to graph. Instead of that, I'm going to choose numbers that they have a perfect square root. For example, 4. 4 has a perfect square root. For example, 9. 9 has a perfect square root. And if you plug in these values in the root function, y equals square root of x, the square root of 0 is 0, square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3. And easily you can graph this function, correct? Here, this is your x, this is your y-axis. 0, 0, 1 and 1, 4 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, let's complete this graph a little bit more. Let me draw another axis here, a bigger one to go up to 9. Here you go, we are going up to 9 this time. Ah, my eraser. I erased the line again. Let me change it to pen. Here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 and 3, correct? Which will be this point. And if I want to graph this function is like this, right? We already know the graph of y equals square root of x, which is such a function. Now, how to graph the negative, correct? The negative of it, multiply your y column with -1, correct? Multiply your y column with -1. Here multiply -1, here multiply -1, here multiply -1, here multiply -1. All the points are changing. This one becomes 0, this one -1, this one -2, this one -3. Now use the new y, this is your new y, and old x, correct? 0, 0, the same point, correct? 1 and -1 will be this point. 2 and 4 and 2, -2, and 9 and -3. And if you connect them, the black graph is y equals square root of x, and the red one is y equals square root of negative square root of x, which is the reflection of the graph of y equals square root of x about x-axis or in the x-axis. You see, it's a reflection. Reflection means your x-axis is working actually as a mirror. Your x-axis is working as a mirror. And you see the same graph on the other side of the x. Correct? Same way, if I try to graph y equals a square root of -x. Correct? Some people says, oh, it's impossible. It's this, the negative numbers doesn't have a square root. Correct. But here we are talking about reflection. Our graph will be reflected about y-axis, correct? Same numbers. If I use the same table, correct? X and y, zero, 1, 4, and 9. Of course, here 0, 1, 2, and 3. Correct? The same graph that we did. trying to go up to 9. If not, I'll use up to 4, correct? 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, and 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and 3. That was our parent graph, y equals the square root of x. Correct? This is y equals square root of x. Now, reflection, when I do reflection, do this. Multiply. When you reflect your graph about y-axis, multiply the x column with -1 or divide the x column with -1, okay? And see what are the new values. 0, -1, -4, and -9. Use the new x and old y, correct? 0, 0, -1 and 1, which is this point, -4 and 2, which is this point, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 and 3, this point. And if you connect these points, this is the graph of y equals square root of -x. Two things. When you do reflection about x, use your table to graph the original or parent function, then use your table and multiply the y column with -1. If you do reflection about y-axis or in the y-axis, graph your parent graph, use your table and multiply the x column by -1. That's the easiest way. Correct? This topic was about reflection, the graph of a function about the x-axis and y-axis. Correct? In the next video, I'll discuss with you the vertical scale changes. Of course, we will have horizontal scale changes and we will talk about vertical scale changes. Correct? In some books, they call it stretch and shrink. And our book here, we discuss it as a vertical and horizontal stretch. Correct? Actually, we are changing the scale of the graph. I will discuss those in the next video. I'll stop the lecture now. See you all in part 3 of section 3.4.